Guys, what is going on? It is prediction time. It's time to take a look at the upcoming pay-per-view extravaganza this Sunday. You know it is one of the most ridiculous pay-per-view names of all time. Now I am, of course, talking about the first ever WWE Great Balls of Fire. Despite the ridiculousness of this name, I have to say on paper, this has been one of the stronger cards that we've gotten this year, and I have enjoyed the build to this pay-per-view. It could end up turning out to be the best Raw exclusive pay-per-view event this year. I thought Payback was the best so far because Fastlane left a lot to be desired, and Extreme Rules outside of the main event I felt was just there. But overall, as a card from top to bottom, I have to say this is a very, very stacked show. From the main event of Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe, a match that I am truly excited for, and it's been a long time since I could say that for a match in WWE. But they certainly got my excitement, and there are a number of other matches that I am looking forward to, just taking a look at this card right now. We have a total of 8 announced matches, and we'll start from the pre-show and work our way up. Let's first talk about Neville defending his Cruiserweight Championship versus Akira Tozawa. I think if these two, given the platform, given the amount of time in the ring, and just allowed to go out there and, let them go all out. Let them prove, well, not prove, but let them show what they're able to do. I mean, the Cruiserweight division, as far as I'm concerned, has been a failure. And I don't know what you can do at this point to get it back on track, but I like Neville as the Cruiserweight champion being dominant and unstoppable. And I just think, on paper, him and Tozawa could have a series of tremendous matches if WWE lets them, if they don't control and confine them into their prototypical formula. That being said, who do I think is going to win this match? I'm going to go with Neville retaining his Cruiserweight Championship. And, despite being on the pre-show, and I usually don't watch the pre-show, I will be watching for this match. Neville versus Tozawa could be, and hopefully will be, a very good match. We next move up the card here. We'll talk about the 30-minute Iron Man match for the Raw Tag Team Championships, pitting Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardy Boyz. At first, I wasn't too keen on these two teams having a rematch against one another after their steel cage match, and then they later had a 2 out of 3 falls match on Raw, which of course ended in a no contest. However, when I heard the announced stipulation of a 30-minute Iron Man match, which I believe is, I don't think we ever had a 30-minute Iron Man tag team match, escapes me, but I think these two teams will make the most of it. You got Cesaro, who's one hell of a wrestler, the Hardys, legendary, and Sheamus, who's very good in his own right as well, good worker. So I think these two can produce under this stipulation, and this should be the blow-off to this feud. And if I had to pick a winner for this match, I'm predicting that the Hardys will regain the Tag Team Championships, and then that'll lead to a showdown at SummerSlam between the Hardys versus the Revival. And I think soon, hopefully this legal battle with Anthem will come to an end. We will see the broken universe and the wonderful delight of deletion, of the final deletion, entering the universe of WWE. So yeah, I'm predicting that the Hardys will walk out as tag team champions. One match that I'm not too particularly looking forward to, and I hope to God ends this never-ending feud, is The Miz defending against Dean Ambrose. Both these guys need to go their separate ways. It's a feud that I felt really ran its course on SmackDown. I wasn't too keen on it picking up here on Raw. But just ever since The Miz and Dean Ambrose have come over from SmackDown, all we've done is seen them go back and forth feuding. Miz won the title. I thought, okay, Ambrose will get his rematch out of the way and we'll move Miz on to fresh opponent. Hell, I was even hoping for Heath Slater to be the one to challenge The Miz, or even win the IC title out of the blue on Raw. I'm more invested in a Heath Slater Miz program. I feel Dean Ambrose is just stale as a babyface. He's not really doing too much for me anyways. And I just feel like the best move would be to move both these guys on from each other, so I'm predicting that The Miz will retain his Intercontinental Championship, of course with help from the Miztourage. We have a match that I really like the way that they built to it. I wasn't too keen on these two splitting, but of course, I'm talking about Enzo Amore versus Big Cass. I really like the way they did the split. If you were going to do it, they did it in the most effective way possible. Big Cass has been killing it in the heel role. He really has that heat with me, just the way that he turned his back on his longtime friend Enzo. And then Enzo, likewise, has been just cutting these really fantastic promo. I loved his promo this past Monday on Raw, really pulling at the heartstrings. And then him and Cass at the backstage brawl. And really, Cass did a double turn twice. I mean, the previous week, he faked Enzo into thinking that he's back with him, and then he just beat the shit out of him. So, I really look forward to seeing these two go at it. One of the better feuds that Raw has built up in the past couple weeks. But I think it's really a no-brainer as to who's going to win this match. I'd be very shocked if Enzo won. I think Big Cass will beat Enzo Amore. And I think it'll be relatively quick. I'd say between 5 to 7 minutes, if that. But like I said, I've enjoyed the build-up to this show so far. A build-up and a feud that I really wish would be deleted is the Seth Rollins-Bray Wyatt feud. This feud ain't doing anything for Seth. Sure as hell ain't doing anything for Bray. And the question is, who needs to win more here? Because honestly, I feel like both guys, could use a win. Seth's babyface run has just been kind of there. Bray Wyatt has just been kind of there on Raw. He's been really, feel like, directionless ever since they teased the Finn Balor feud, which is something that I would have rather have seen, and then veered off course and then entered into this feud with Seth Rollins. Why Bray Wyatt chose to fight Seth, again, his promos at this point, I kind of just tune out of them. He just rambles on and on and on and on, and he usually loses anyway. But I'm going out on a limb here, and I'll probably be wrong. But I'm going to predict that Bray Wyatt gets the win here. Honestly, I feel like he needs the win more here, and hopefully he moves on from this feud. It's a one-and-done match between him and Seth. I just don't feel like they're clicking. Something just feels off. There's just nothing really there to get me invested. It's just a lackluster feud, and I don't really want to see any more of this past this pay-per-view. So I'm predicting Bray Wyatt to get the win here. A feud that I hope extends past this pay-per-view, and a match that I am actually looking forward to, is Alexa Bliss defending her Raw Women's Championship versus the Boss, Sasha Banks. This is a match that I thought would be saved for SummerSlam, and you still could do another match between these two based on what happens here at Great Balls of Fire. I am predicting Alexa to retain in some type of heelish, nefarious actions, whether it's raking the eyes, low blow, distracting the referee, what have you. She will use some type of nefarious tactics, I believe, to retain her Raw Women's Championship, and that might give Sasha Banks the opportunity to lobby her case for another rematch against Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam. And then I'd like to see Sasha Banks win that Raw Women's Championship and have a nice run with it. I feel that it's long overdue for Sasha. She had this, win the title, lose the title thing with Charlotte last year. It really made me yearn for Sasha to have at least a nice 3 to 6 month title reign, if that. That would be nice to see. But I'm predicting that Alexa Bliss will retain her title in Nefarious Faction, and I believe it's a first time ever matchup between these two. I don't believe that they have ever I could be wrong. They might have fought before, maybe on NXT. I only did start watching NXT in 2014, so if they did have a match, I'd have to go back and look. Well, they did fight on Raw on April 24th, but that really, actually here, it looks like they did fight in NXT way back in March of 2015. So it's been almost 2 years. So even though that they did fight that long ago, it's a fresh matchup and the right matchup going forward for the Raw Women's division. So I'd like to see Sasha win, but I don't think she will. I think, like I said, Alexa Bliss will retain her Raw Women's Championship. Then we got the 2 headline matches for this show. First is Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in an ambulance match. I can't tell you the last time I've been too excited for an ambulance match. It's been a while. But I think this is the nice stipulation and the right stipulation for these two based on how their feud kind of came to a pause coming out of Payback with Strowman, running into the ambulance. Ridiculous as it was, that did lead to Strowman getting the minor elbow surgery, Reigns taking him out. Strowman came back from the ambulance. The ambulance has really played kind of a key role in this feud. Strowman launching Reigns into the ambulance. And then this past Monday on Raw, I really like the spear that Roman Reigns hit on Strowman. I just like seeing these two feud and beat the holy shit out of each other. It's nice and refreshing. And I'm hoping that Braun beats Roman this Sunday. I don't know, though. Something tells me that Roman might win and then head into SummerSlam and face Brock Lesnar. I'm staying away from spoilers, so I don't really want to know any of that. But I would like to see Braun Strowman # beat up Roman Reigns. Love Braun. Love what they've been doing with him ever since he came back. Really has given Raw that needed shot in the arm. And I just want to see these two beat the piss out of each other at Great Balls of Fire. Speaking of beating the piss out of each other, the main event. The match that I know you are excited for, and I am as equally excited for. And that is, of course, Roman Reigns. Not Roman Reigns. Now, you don't want to see that. You want to see Brock Lesnar defend his Universal Championship versus Samoa Joe the Destroyer. A fresh matchup. A matchup that I've wanted to see ever since Joe came into the company. When Joe did that interview with Jim Ross on his podcast, and he brought up the fact that that's a match that, this was before he signed with WWE, that was a match that he'd like to have against Brock Lesnar. It got me thinking, I want to see these two. Just two badasses who do not give a flying you-know-what, and they're going to do everything and anything to beat the holy piss out of each other. I hope it's not a squash. I just want to see them go in there and have a physical, competitive match. Even if Lesnar wins, which I'm assuming he will. I'm predicting that he will. That's my prediction. But just don't squash Joe like a nobody. Have him go in there and take the fight to Brock Lesnar like nobody we've seen really since The Undertaker and, say who else? John Cena really put up a fight against Lesnar. Not in their SummerSlam match, but at Night of Champions. And I can't really think of too many other guys since Lesnar's, run started in 2012 who have really taken it to him. The way that they've built Joe up has been something special. They've done a phenomenal job of building Samoa Joe up, and it increases my hype and anticipation. This is a main event that truly feels like a main event. It truly feels like a fresh matchup because it is. And I'd love to see this program go on to SummerSlam. I think it deserves to. And I'd like to see them get there somehow, some way, and keep Joe in that title picture because he's done a tremendous job in this build-up, as has the company. And so has Lesnar, Heyman. Everything has just clicked with this feud, and it has really been the best thing going forward on both shows, Raw or SmackDown. So I cannot eagerly await to see what happens when Samoa Joe takes on Brock Lesnar. But those are my predictions for the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view emanating live this Sunday, July the 9th from Dallas, Texas. And you guys know how it works on this channel. I will, of course, be back up here on this channel for a live video review immediately following the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. So be on the lookout for that video. And also, we'll be attending Raw in roughly 3 weeks' time. July 31st, Raw will be rolling back into Pittsburgh, PA. So I will be doing a special day in the life video, as well as a video review posted after Raw. So be on the lookout for those videos as well coming down the line as we eagerly anticipate this Sunday's pay-per-view. Like I said, despite the ludicrous name, it on paper has the potential to be a very solid to strong show. So we'll see how everything plays out. Like I said, guys, leave your comments down below, your predictions for Great Balls of Fire this Sunday, and I enjoy reading those comments as well. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Remember to click my like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel, youtube.com/DanielGuys412. Also be sure to follow me on Twitter at DanielGuys412. I'll be live tweeting during #WWE Balls, the pay-per-view, and I live tweet usually during Raw and SmackDown as well, so be sure to follow me on there. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I am out, and I will see you this Sunday for my live pay-per-view review. Until then, thanks for watching.